Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. I'm really glad we're tackling this one today, AI and SEO. And a huge thanks to you, the listener, for sending over all those articles. It's clear you're really interested in how this all works. So today we're going to answer two big questions. Why AI SEO? And why is now the time to get on board?
Yeah, you're definitely asking the right questions. We hear AI thrown around a lot, but for business owners like you, it's not just a buzzword. This is like a total shift in how people are finding information online. So how your business gets found is changing too.
Okay, so break it down for me. When we talk about AI transforming search, what does that actually mean? Like, what are we really seeing out there?
Well, one of the big things is AI-powered search engines, like Google's Search Generative Experience. Have you heard of that one? SGE?
SGE, yeah, I've seen that name floating around.
So basically, think of it like you ask Google a question,
Right.
but instead of just getting a list of links, SGE gives you this AI summary right at the top. And it pulls info from a bunch of different websites. It's a whole different ballgame.
So like Google is doing the work, summarizing and putting the most relevant stuff right in front of you.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. Early tests show that some people don't even scroll past that AI summary. They get what they need right there.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. I mean, if your business isn't in those AI summaries, it's almost like you don't even exist.
You got it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why this AI SEO thing is becoming so important. You got to make sure your business is optimized to show up in those summaries and grab that traffic.
All right, so we know AI SEO is important. But how is it different from regular SEO? What do businesses need to do differently now?
Good question. Traditional SEO, it's been all about keywords and backlinks,
Right.
making sure you're using the right words and getting other sites to link to you. That's still important. But AI SEO adds like this whole extra layer.
Okay, so tell me about this extra layer of AI SEO. What are the key things businesses need to know?
One of the big ones is structured data. It's kind of like speaking Google's language, using code to help search engines understand what your content actually means, not just the words on the page.
Okay, so can you give me an example?
Sure, imagine you have a recipe on your website with structured data. You're basically telling Google, hey, this isn't just a random page of text. This is a recipe with ingredients and cooking time and all that.
So Google actually understands that it's a recipe and it can pull out those specific details.
Yes, exactly. And because Google understands your content better, it can put you in those AI summaries we were talking about. So you stand out as a trustworthy source.
Okay, that makes sense. So structured data is a big one. What else is there?
Well, have you ever seen those like short answers Google shows at the top of the results page? The ones that answer your question directly.
Well, yeah, I see those all the time. Super helpful.
Those are featured snippets. And they're really valuable for AI SEO. Getting your content in a featured snippet means prime real estate in the search results,
Yeah.
right in front of your target audience.
So basically being in a featured snippet is like winning the SEO lottery.
Pretty much. You want to aim for that, for sure.
Okay, so we've got structured data and featured snippets. What else should business owners be thinking about with AI SEO?
It's interesting. The fundamentals of good writing are actually becoming even more important with AI.
What do you mean?
Well, AI is actually a lot better at understanding well-written content than we give it credit for. Clear headings, concise paragraphs, lists, and tables, all those things help AI know that your content is well-organized and easy to digest.
So are you saying that like fluffy, keyword-stuffed content that doesn't really offer any value is going to get penalized even more in AI search?
You're absolutely right. AI search engines are getting really good at spotting content that's just trying to game the system. They're looking for stuff that actually provides value to users, relevant, easy to read, answers the searcher's questions directly.
Sounds like AI SEO is really aligning with Google's goal to give users the best possible search experience.
It is. It's about user experience above all else. And that's where this next part comes in, user engagement.
User engagement.
Yeah.
How does that tie into AI SEO?
Well, search engines are getting more and more sophisticated at measuring how people interact with your content, how long they stay on the page, whether they bounce back to the search result, do they click other links on your site? All of that helps Google figure out if your content is good quality and relevant.
So it's not just about getting someone to click your link. They actually have to like what they see and stick around and explore your site.
Exactly. AI is making SEO much more dynamic and holistic. It's not just about keywords anymore. It's about understanding what people are really looking for and giving them a good experience.
This is all making a lot of sense. But let's talk about the why now part. You've made a great case for why AI SEO is important, but why is now the time for businesses to focus on it?
The simple answer is that AI search is still pretty new, which means there's a huge opportunity for businesses that get on board early. The ones who embrace AI SEO now will have a real advantage over those who wait.
So it's like the early days of the internet. The people who saw the potential early on were the ones who really benefited the most.
You got it. Imagine being one of the first businesses in your industry to really figure out how to rank in those AI summaries we were talking about. Think about the surge in traffic and leads you could get while your competitors are still scratching their head.
That early adopter advantage is pretty powerful.
It is, and it's not just about getting ahead of the competition. The whole SEO world is changing fast. Traditional tactics are still important, but they're not enough anymore. You got to adapt to stay in the game.
One of the articles you sent talked about a research study where optimizing for AI search actually helps smaller businesses outrank big companies. That's pretty amazing.
It is, and it shows how AI is actually leveling the playing field in a way. It's not just about who has the biggest budget or the most backlinks now. It's about who understands how to create content that AI search engines love.
So even small businesses can compete if they get AI SEO, right? That's pretty cool.
It is. But there's another reason why now is so important. Search is getting more conversational.
Conversational, what does that mean?
Well, as voice search and AI assistants like Siri and Alexa get more popular, people are asking questions in full sentences, not just typing keywords. Think about it. You're more likely to ask your smart speaker, "Where's the best pizza place near me?" than to type "pizza near me" into Google.
Yeah, it's true. I do that all the time. So how does that affect SEO?
AI SEO is all about understanding those natural language questions and giving complete answers that really satisfy what the user's looking for. It's not enough to just focus on keywords anymore. You got to think about how people actually talk and ask questions when you're creating content.
Okay, so it's getting more complex.
A little bit, but the good news is there are ways to make sure you're on the right track.
And we'll talk about those next time, I'm guessing.
You bet.
This has been awesome. So far, I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on this whole AI SEO thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, it does seem pretty complicated.
Yeah, it can be. There's definitely a learning curve.
So for business owners who are listening to this and feeling a little overwhelmed, what's the next step? Where do they go from here?
That's a great question. And one we'll dive into more next time. Stay tuned. Well, the good news is you don't have to become an AI expert overnight. There are ways to make this whole thing a lot easier.
Okay, so tell me more about that. What can business owners do to kind of wrap their heads around all of this?
So first things first, don't panic. It's not like everything you've been doing for SEO is suddenly useless.
Right, like keywords and backlinks are still important.
Absolutely. You're building on that foundation.
Yeah.
But now it's about layering in these AI SEO elements to make sure you're showing up where it matters most.
Okay, makes sense. So where do we start with these AI elements? What's the first thing business owners should focus on?
Well, one of the biggest things you can do is make sure your website is using structured data. We talked about this before,
Yeah.
but it's really worth emphasizing because it's so important.
Right, it's like speaking Google's language so they can understand your content better.
Exactly. And the more Google understands your content, the better they can match it with what people are searching for, especially in those AI-powered summaries.
Okay, so structured data is a big one. Yeah, what else?
Another thing to keep in mind is how you structure your content. AI is pretty good at recognizing patterns and understanding well-organized information. So using clear headings and subheadings, bullet points and numbered lists, all that good stuff. It really helps AI make sense of your content.
So basically, good writing practices are now good SEO practices too.
You got it. Clear, concise writing. It's always been important for your audience, but now it's important for AI as well.
Okay, I can see how that makes sense. So we've got structured data, we've got clear and concise writing. What else should businesses be thinking about?
Well, remember how we talked about featured snippets?
Yeah, those short answers at the top of the search results.
Those are gold. And the best way to get featured is to create content that directly answers a specific question. Think about what questions your target audience is asking, and then create content that provides a clear and concise answer.
So it's all about anticipating user intent and delivering exactly what they're looking for.
You got it. And the more you can align your content with what people are searching for, the better your chances of ranking well in those AI summaries and featured snippets.
This is all really helpful.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. But, it still sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, but remember, you don't have to do this all alone.
Right, like you were saying earlier, there are ways to make this whole process easier.
Exactly. There are tools and resources out there that can help. And of course, there are experts who can guide you every step of the way.
So when it comes to AI SEO,
Mm.
is it better to DIY or to bring in an expert? What do you think?
Well, it really depends on your situation. how comfortable you are with technology, how much time you have to dedicate to this. But in my experience, most business owners benefit from having at least some level of expert guidance.
Why is that?
Well, for one thing, AI SEO is constantly evolving. What works today might not work tomorrow, so having someone who's staying on top of the latest trends and techniques can be really valuable.
It's like having a coach in the corner who can tell you what plays to run.
Exactly. And a good AI SEO expert can also help you with things like choosing the right tools and strategies, measuring your results, and making adjustments along the way. It's about having someone who understands the big picture and can help you navigate all the complexities.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But honestly, some business owners might be thinking, can't I just hire a marketing company to handle all of this for me?
Sure, you could. But here's the thing. AI SEO is so new and so specialized that a lot of marketing companies are still playing catch up. You really want to find someone who has a deep understanding of how AI is impacting search and who can create a strategy that's tailored to your specific business goals.
So how do you find a good AI SEO expert? What should business owners be looking for?
Well, first of all, look for someone who has a proven track record of success in the AI SEO space. Ask for case studies or examples of their work. You also want to make sure they're staying up to date on the latest trends and technologies, and that they're able to explain things to you in a way that you understand.
So good communication skills are important.
Absolutely. You want to be able to have an open dialogue with your AI SEO expert and feel comfortable asking questions. And finally, don't be afraid to trust your gut. If you get a good feeling about someone, go with it.
All right, so we've talked about why AI SEO is so important, why now is the time to get on board, and how to find the right expert to help you navigate this whole thing. What's next? What else should business owners be thinking about?
One of the most important things you can do is stay informed. Keep learning about AI SEO and how it's evolving, and don't be afraid to experiment. The beauty of this field is that it's constantly changing, so there's always something new to try.
That's a great point. So how can business owners stay up to date on all the latest developments in AI SEO?
Well, there are a lot of great resources out there. Industry blogs, podcasts, newsletters, conferences, attend events, network with other professionals, and just keep your eyes and ears open.
So it's about being proactive and staying curious.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, you're not alone in this. There's a whole community of people who are excited about AI SEO and eager to share their knowledge and experiences.
That's great to hear. So what's the bottom line here? What's the one key takeaway you want business owners to walk away with?
The key takeaway is this AI is transforming the way people search for information. And if you want your business to be found, you need to adapt. Embrace AI SEO and make it a core part of your marketing strategy.
Great advice. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, but I'm sure our listeners still have questions, and we'll be tackling those in our next segment.
Looking forward to it. Yeah, absolutely. So we've talked about why AI SEO is so important, why now is the time to get on board, and how to find the right expert to help you. But what are some of the specific ways an expert can help? What are they actually doing for your business?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a lot of business owners might be wondering about that. Like, what does this expert actually do all day?
Well, one of the biggest thing an AI SEO expert can do is help you with structured data. Remember how we talked about that? It's basically code that helps search engines understand your content better, but it can get pretty technical.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to figure out all that code myself would be a nightmare.
Exactly. That's where an expert comes in. They know exactly which types of structured data to use and how to implement it correctly, so you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, so structured data is one thing. What else can an expert help with?
Another big one is content optimization.
Yeah.
AI is getting really good at understanding what makes content high quality and what makes it just okay. So an expert can help you make sure your content is written in a way that AI will love.
So they can help you write better.
Well, it's more than just writing. It's about understanding how AI reads and interprets content, and then using that knowledge to structure your content in a way that's both engaging for humans and optimized for AI.
Okay, so it's like this whole new layer of thinking about content creation.
Exactly. And a good AI SEO expert can also help you with things like keyword research, link building, and even technical SEO stuff, like making sure your website is fast and mobile friendly.
So basically, they can handle all the technical stuff. So you can focus on running your business.
That's the idea. And here's another thing. AI SEO is constantly changing. What works today might not work tomorrow. So having an expert on your team means you'll always be ahead of the curve. You'll always be using the latest and greatest techniques.
So it's like having someone who's always doing the research and keeping up with the latest trends.
Exactly. And that can save you a lot of time and headaches in the long run.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense.
Uh-huh.
But, some business owners might be hesitant to bring in an expert. They might think it's too expensive or that they can just figure it out themselves. What would you say to those people?
I understand the hesitation, but here's the thing. Investing in AI SEO is investing in your future success. If you want your business to thrive in this new world of search, you need to be using the right tools and strategies. And an expert can help you do that.
So like any other investment, you get what you pay for.
Exactly. And when it comes to AI SEO, the potential ROI is huge. If
Yeah.
you can get your website ranking at the top of those AI-powered search results, you could see a significant increase in traffic and leads.
That's a pretty compelling argument, I think. So if you're a business owner who's been on the fence about AI SEO, hopefully this has given you some food for thought.
I hope so.
This has been a fantastic deep dive. I feel like I've learned a ton, and I'm sure our listeners have too. So to wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway you want everyone to remember?
The key takeaway is this: AI is changing the game when it comes to SEO. And if you're not adapting, you're falling behind. So embrace the power of AI SEO, find a trusted expert to guide you, and get ready to watch your business grow.
Awesome advice. Thanks so much for sharing your expertise with us today. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure as well.
And to all our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in to another deep dive. We'll see you next time.